Good evening to those who listen. It's November 4th, 2024, 10:53 p.m. 7 minutes. It will be 11 o'clock Central Time, but it will be 12 midnight Eastern Time. So, literally 7 more minutes left until the first vote will be cast. So I was looking at a video and I just happened to see this when I scrolled down. And this is just a weird scenario. If nobody gets 270 votes, it says the House of Representatives would determine the president. Right? So we can just take a little quick look at this video to make sure. But as I see it, there's 220 Republicans in the House of Representatives and 212 for the Democrats, right? So I would assume if it came down to those people voting, a certain former president would be the president. So let's just take a little look here.
The $35 cap per month on insulin.
Therese Gibson.
And I'm Devin Bartolotta. Tropical storm Rafael has formed in the Caribbean.
Right now, it's forecast to become a hurricane
What?
and move into the Gulf. But could we see any effects from the system later this week? We'll begin to see
What?
she can.
How'd that happen?
Franklin joining us now with the latest on the storm. How's it looking, Chris?
Well, as long as we're take a quick look at this Hurricane Rafael, but it could possibly go into the Gulf, and they're saying it could disrupt the election, which I don't know about that. But there's another scenario. I don't know. That's crazy. You know how on a video you can scroll down to see other videos? Well, I don't know. Maybe I clicked on the wrong one, or I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want us to watch it. But anyway, that was another scenario. Here's another scenario. All right, so this is from JWTV, and they were mentioning that possible scenarios for polling places. Something. They're expecting some kind of disruptions or violence at these polling places. So they could do lots of different things. They could try to block people from getting in. They could, of course, the voting machines could be tampered with or something. They're not working properly. That's a scenario. But there was a scenario that was kind of strange. And it was like, one of the scenarios was a white powder. Like, say there was a white powder that was on the ballots. And then they'd have to test it. You never know. It could be like anthrax or something like that. So what if there was a bunch of these polling stations that had this white powder on the ballots, and then they said it took 4 to 6, 8 hours to determine what it was. But let's say it was something that was, it could make you sick, or even worse, and then people had to be taken to the hospital. And then if it started happening in a bunch of different polling places all around the country, oh, we need to stop the election. And then they delay it, and then who knows what happens after that. Could be a lot of weird reasons. I still have this weird feeling something's going to happen, and either they're not going to be able to verify the whole country because of something happening in a certain state or something, or they have to do recounts. It just takes forever. I wanted to show. Let me see if I can find something. Also, now they got SWAT teams and National Guard at certain places, and now they have panic buttons for the workers. So if something happens, say at a polling station, say there's people coming in and causing trouble, they can push this panic button and get help. We got this happening in California and Washington. They're going to shut the power off. So there's going to be power shutoffs. They're trying to say that it's after the time has passed for voting, but another possibility could be in a worldwide emergency. Doesn't even have to be our country. Say there was a WAR going on somewhere else. Who knows? We might have to delay the election. Okay, I found it. This is Lisa Haven. Sorry, let me back out a little bit. So she was going over some stuff, and that's very interesting stuff. Okay, so obviously every state has to have a deadline for when people can certify, and then states have to have deadlines where they have to certify. So if you go through this list, all these different states, okay, so they got till November 27th. Geez, that's way after the election before the state has to certify. Look at this. December 2nd, November 30th, December 2nd.
Their local certification deadline, which is the number closest to my head, is November 25th. The state deadline is December 27th. So they're all a little bit out. If you go
So
to
you got all
Georgia,
these different
they have November
states
12th
with different
and November
deadlines for
22nd
when
as the state
they have
date.
to
Then we have Michigan, the 19th,
to certify
and the 25th
this.
on the state date. North Carolina, the 15th, and
December
the 26th. So all
9th,
of these are very far
December
out.
12th,
Pennsylvania,
and
the
then there's
25th,
even
and
some,
not
look at this,
specified.
not specified. So they could just say in Pennsylvania, it's Pennsylvania, yeah, of course it's Pennsylvania. Wow. So they could just say, oh, we can take as much time as we need to certify this. So this thing, and I have a feeling if this election does go through, it's not gonna we're not gonna know tomorrow. We're not gonna know a couple days. I think it's gonna be weeks and weeks before we know, or before they actually announce. So, what was it? December 12th was December 12th. That's the latest date on here. It looks like that's it too, Virginia. Maybe Washington, another state, but
That's interesting.
it is interesting. Right, so
They have any official results, but we could, as we normally do, get an unofficial result. Now I got a lot more to tell.
So there's lots of different scenarios that could happen, and everyone's trying to come up with scenarios of what if T-Man wins, what if Kamala wins, and you haven't seen too many people talking about, well, what happens if there is no election at all, or what happens if this election just gets delayed, and then who knows what can happen. But I thought it was funny. 2024 election shenanigans start tomorrow. So I thought that was kind of funny. And some other news. The World Court just ruled that the Is country must leave Jerusalem. So they're trying to give East Jerusalem to the Palestinians. They have 1 year to comply. Thought that was very strange. So with all the confusion and all the talk and propaganda, saying that we're going to have some violence and might have a civil, and everybody throwing all the fear out there. But God says, cast all your anxiety on Him, and He will take care of you. Programming issues with voting machines in Michigan. At least in Pennsylvania, I think it was Pennsylvania, where they were having problems with, I guess there was not enough workers working, and they closed the line. They said no more voting after it was like 2:30 or 2:40, something like that. And it was supposed to be open until 5. They closed early like every day. And the governor even said that no matter what, if you're there before 5 p.m., they have to serve you. But they closed them illegally, and then the former wound up winning in court, and they reopened, so they at least got that. Anyway, so that's it. I don't want to keep going on, but we know all the weird chaos that's going on all over the country, all over the world for that matter. And there's going to be some crazy stuff going on tomorrow. Just want to let you know too. I think I'm gonna try to do a live stream tomorrow night, and just talk about what's going on in the world, and just see if anything happens while I'm live. You never know. Last time, 2020, I stayed up late. Everybody else went to bed. I stayed up late, and I saw all the stuff that happened, with them shutting down all these polling places. So we'll see if anything happens. Thanks for watching. God bless.